Welcome to What is a Budget section of Budgeting 101 FIU's Budget Basics. What is a budget? A budget is a financial blueprint or action plan of an organization, and budgeting, when done properly, translates into the following three roles. A management plan for meeting probable revenues and expenses for a given period of time. It also serves as a control mechanism to match anticipated and actual revenues and expenses. And lastly, a mechanism to keep expenditures within budget established for certain operations. Now let's break down the definition even further. First and foremost, budgets are prediction. So budgeting is estimating how much you plan to spend, how much money your department really has. And this will be based on control totals for E&G funds or revenues you anticipate to generate for self-supporting funds. The definition also says that budgets are for a definite period of time. Budgets have expiration dates. At FIU, we based our budgets on what's called a fiscal year, and this runs from July 1st through June 30th. So, a fiscal year is a reasonable time frame in which to say, this is what I need to do, and this is how much money I have, or how much money I will need to run this operation. By the way, budgeting means that your department must revisit its budget every year. Your anticipated activities for next year, I'm sure, will not be the same as this year or the next. And finally, the definition says probable for financing them. This is part of the budget that you probably know the best. It's the object code of the definition. Budgets show how expenses are broken down into the various categories. Remember, just as it helps to have a time frame for expenses, it also helps to analyze how you will incur them. Also, the budget is an important annual planning document for the university. It reflects choices, priorities, tactics as a result of an intensive planning process. Because needs and opportunities change over time, your budget should be based on sound assumptions. Above all, budget should be realistic. This should be based on sound, reasonable assumptions for both revenues and expenses. It should also be flexible, able to adapt if there are significant changes. Remember, a budget is a planning document, and things don't always go according to plan. And lastly, consistent in line with the university's mission, strategic plan, and most important, department yearly goals. Now, since we said that budgeting is a process and a tool for allocation and management, for the management of current and future resources, what does this really involve? This involves analyzing and determining future needs, maximizing available resources, predicting expected income, developing an allocation plan or a budget, and providing sufficient resources for emergencies. This concludes what is a budget section of Budgeting 101 FIU's Budget Basics. Next, we will cover general budget concepts.